So this lesson we're going to be taking a listing of values and checking to see if the characters are the same forwards and backwards. So in racecar we see it's true, level we see it's true, a man, a plane, a canal, Panama. So that's going to come back as true. So if you were to spell this backwards, removing out all of the spacing, the values and the letters would be the same. Hello is not, because hello backwards is O-L-L-E-H. So it's not going to be matching. The 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 is matching, so those characters are matching forwards and backwards. And creating the formula to make that check, that's all going to be done with Google Apps Script. Open up your Google Sheet and then populate some data, so some string values that we can check to see if they are palindromes. So palindrome is just that we can read it forwards and backwards, and the letters are within that same order. We're going to create a test to return back whether it's true or false, a Boolean value, whether the string is a palindrome. And under the extensions, select Apps Script. That's going to open up the Apps Script editor. We're going to check and create a brand new function. And this function can be called Palindrome. And we need to have one string value that's going to be inserted into the parameter. Let's take the value of string and just make sure that we are getting them as strings, because Sheets will automatically convert it into a number. So if we do a string, that will convert it to a string. And for now, we're just going to return back the response back as string. So add in the formula there within the cell that you want to output the result. So that's is palindrome. And then the value that you want to use to check, and that's going to be the value coming from the previous cell. So we see that these are being returned back, and this number is being also returned back as a string. So now we can do the second part where we can convert it all to lowercase. And the reason that we're going to do a conversion to the lowercase is that all of the letters then are going to be matching in case. So that way we can check to see if they match. So uppercase won't necessarily match a lowercase. So we're going to do a conversion to lowercase. And we want to also do a replace of all of the characters that are not going to be characters within the string. So that's all of the non-lowercase and numbers and etc. So let's check that, and we'll do a regular expression to replace it globally. And we'll just replace it with a blank. So it's going to clean up the string part of it so that we can check just for the letters, so that we're not looking at any other characters that might be there. So we'll check to see A to Z, and we'll also accept 0 to 9. All of the other letters are going to be removed, or all the other characters are removed. So that just cleans up the content there. So we had a question mark there, so that was removed. This number was actually turned into a string. The spaces got removed. So that cleans up the working value that we have in order to provide the test. So we want to also return back using the string length. So strings, just as we do with arrays, they're going to have a length value. So this tells us how long just the string characters are. And we can use this length. So setting up a for loop, we can loop through and letting the value of I equals 0 and looping through while I is less than string length. So that will get every character within the string, increment I by 1. And we're going to actually divide it by 2 to check to see if the string length, so that we can have the right condition there. So we don't have to go through all of the characters. We just need to go through half of the string length in order to check to see if they're matching characters. So this is where the condition is going to check to see if string value of I is not equal to the value of string, and this is taking the string length, and 1 is going to start from the end of the string, so we're going to subtract it by 1 and subtract I. So it's going to return back the character as we're looping through it, and this will then return back a value of false. And if it is, it will just return back a value of true. So if it does make it through this condition and that they do not are equal to each other, then it will return back a value of true. So that gives us the check to see if those values are going to be matching. So it's going to take the last one and the first one and if those values match, last one, first one, last one, first one, last one, first one, last one, first one, and check to see if it matches. It's going to disregard the middle character. So in this case, level and racecar, the middle characters are different. The word hello is not, but if we were to add in extra to it, so if it was hello LLEH, that would come back as true, and the same with the palindrome. So this is regardless as if there's a value there in the middle, it will still come back as true. So this is still checking to see, because it would still be the same forward and backwards. So that's how you can check to see if a string value is the same forwards and backwards by using a formula within your Google Sheets.